Managing your own business can be a very, very difficult thing to get over, especially when it comes to managing your fear of stepping into something that is unknown. Anthony, now you've owned your own business in the past. How did you manage that fear and get over the hurdle?
Yeah, so the number one thing that we want to do is help minimize risk for our clients, right? So back when I was first looking at franchising and entrepreneurship, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I was good at. I didn't know what I was excited about. It took me almost 2 years to find a concept that I could still keep my job, invest in, and eventually work my way into as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. So had I had somebody like a franchise advisor, somebody from Franchise Sidekick by my side, that would have been such an easier path, so much less stress, so much less everything, right? So that's why we do what we do. That's why we love doing what we do. And that's what I have a passion for. And I know you guys feel the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is, most of the time we fear what we don't know, right? That's a big part of our job, right? That's why we got the Sidekick 7. They call it a discovery process, right? Because you're discovering these things. It's not, early days, a lot of these franchisors, you hop on 2 phone calls, you ask as many questions to think about, and at the end of it, they're like, cool, you wanna buy one? It's not how buying a business should go, right? That's not how buying anything really goes. Not a big decision. You look at 17 different houses and all that kind of stuff. That's why this process exists, and that's why we exist, is we're gonna figure out those fearful questions, right? We don't wanna avoid them, right? When I went through my process, I felt like that's what it was. Oh God, I hope he doesn't ask this question. I hope he doesn't know to ask here.
Right.
We know what to ask, and our process fleshes that out. It doesn't hide anything. I think that's where a lot of the fear comes from for a lot of my clients, is they don't know what they don't know. So they're worried they're gonna get tricked, or they're gonna get confused, and they're gonna get into it and go, oh, I wish I would have known that. That's what this process is for. It's not just it's not a sales process. It's a discovery, it's a due diligence, it's a exploration process. You talk to everybody, you talk to the leadership, you talk to franchisees, you see P&Ls, you see territories, you see as much data as possible that you can make an informed decision, not a guess.
Absolutely. Think about, I've been down the path in trying to buy a franchise previously where I didn't use an advisor. And Anthony kind of touched on it, but you go down this path and someone dumps a 250-page FDD on your lap, tells you that these are the territories that are available, sends you a couple videos on what they're all about, and then asks you, hey, is it time to buy? Can you imagine how overwhelming that is for anyone? We help pick through all of those details. We dig into the pieces in those FDDs that matter. We look at the territories we know that mean a lot to them. We explore multiple brands, not just one brand, so you're not pigeonholed into that. We're giving you options, but we get to know you because we meet with folks just like you every day, whether it's the 9-to-5er or the guy that likes to or wants to have a side hustle, or the big investors that have owned brands before and are coming in. We help guide you through this process that is so essential in cutting out the risk and really ultimately managing that fear.
I think the other part is that we take it personally, right? That's the big part, is it means a lot to us, right? One of the things that we always talk about is we'd rather lose sales than lose sleep.
Sure.
And that means something to me big time, because in my previous career, I would take the bottom franchisees and develop them and help them become a better franchisee. Well, a lot of it was they were just in the wrong brand, right? They were confused. They got in and they were like, God, I shouldn't have been in this. It's not that they weren't great operators. It wasn't that it was a bad brand. It was that they didn't go through a process. They didn't know what they were getting into. So that's what we're looking for, is help you get there, and that we care, right? We care what you're worried about. We can be there and coach you and get you in front of other people. I think that caring, sounds foo-foo, but it's real.
So when we care, and with these systems and processes, then the whole thing that ends up happening that people don't realize is our people that go through this, if they're going to confirmation day, the final meet the team to confirm, they already know that they're going to buy that brand as long as they're approved and everything else is there. So that's what happens with our process. It doesn't happen in anybody else's franchising process. So they know in their gut, if they're going, they're already good to go and they're approved. Right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it boils down to me with just the phrase no surprises. I never want there to be a surprise. As you go through this process, you're meeting with other franchisees, you're reading through the FDD, we provide resources around that, you understand what it means to finance that with all the options you have from that standpoint. No surprises. You should know the brand inside and out, and you should go from liking to loving it by the end of it. And if you don't love it, we have several other options out there that you can look at. So at the end of the day, no surprises is a huge deal for me.
Yeah, you're spot on in that if you don't love it, there's other options. I would probably tell you, you know, at least for me, and I know you guys are the same, we're usually the ones pulling the cord and going, hey guys, I don't have something that is in your wheelhouse. Let me call you in 6 months, right? That's not typical.
It's like the whole realtor piece. We have folks that come in and they'll see a brand and they'll say, this is the brand I want to love this, let's dive into it. But it's kind of like a real estate agent, right? You may say, hey, I know you love this house, but it's kind of my job to show you 2 to 3 other houses. Maybe one's in a better neighborhood, maybe it's a better price, maybe it's a better just initial investment for you and your family because it's a growing area. But we're here to help kind of weed through those misconceived notions or those preconceived notions as you head into looking at a brand and make sure that we find the right fit for our clients.